Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn. Congresswoman, always good seeing you.
Good to see you. Thanks, Neil.
The president says, you know, there might be more stimulus down the road. There might be more banking action down the road. So clearly there is more federal money coming down the road. Now, Republicans have been arguing we don't got no money. But, of course, Republicans, as Bobby Jindal said, are in a bit of a sticky wicket here because they also spent money we didn't have. And there's the great mea culpa for that. Who's going to win on this? Are we just going to see more spending atop more spending on the hope, the hunch, the prayer that it works?
You know, Neil, one of the interesting things that we're hearing from our constituents right now is this. And they feel like that we lost the majority because we spent too much and President Bush spent too much. And now they're looking at what has happened since the Democrats took control of Congress in January 2007, when the total debt was $8.3 trillion. And since that time, it has moved to $10.7 trillion. Now, the Congressional Budget Office says the federal debt limit will have to be raised to $12.5 trillion to accommodate the stimulus that the Democrat-led leadership passed this week.
Well, Congresswoman, what do you do if it works? I know you don't think it will work. I don't even think government is the answer. It might work simply because these things go in cycles, and the cycle will, as Ben Bernanke said, maybe be improving by the end of this year, as soon as the end of this year. But the administration's going to come back, Democrats are going to come back and say it's because of our stimulus plan, because of our spending, and those Republicans who blocked us, you should vote them out of office. What do you say?
Well, and you know, the thing about that is we all want our country to be successful, and because of that, we want to work with President Obama when we think that he is right. We think that increased federal spending is not the route to go.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be a pistol, Congresswoman, if it is? If it is. I hear where you're coming from, but wouldn't it be a pip if all of a sudden the very thing you loathe is the thing that gets us out of this morass? Then what do Republicans do?
Well, and if that were to happen, then we would deal with that if it were to be presented to us, if it were to work. But the thing is, Neil, you cannot spend your way to recovery. The American people know that. And they understand that just as you cannot spend your way to wealth, you can't spend your way to recovery. What they want to see is reductions in what the federal outlays are going to be, and they want to see some reforms in the way the federal government delivers their services. They are very concerned about the mounting debt and the increased spending. And you know what is really interesting is we're talking to our constituents. We hear from them. It troubles them that we are passing all this debt to future generations. I was pleased to see that the president mentioned that in his speech, and that there is an awareness and concern from his part about debt being passed. Now, we know that you cannot increase taxes on small businesses and come out of a recession. You can go back and look time and again. So what we're going to do is work with him when we think he's right, hold him accountable when we think he's wrong.
All right, Congresswoman, thank you very, very much.